Hello YouTube, it's Ro here. Thank you for visiting You Grow Ro. If this is your first time, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate it. So today I'm going to talk about 10 things, count them, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that I don't have to buy ever again. Ever again. Stick around, find out what those 10 things are. Alright guys, so when I say I never have to buy these things again, I say never with an asterisk, okay? Because never say never. But these are things that I can make on my own and know exactly where it came from, not be worried about what's in it. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, because 1, it could save you money. 2, you could learn new skills, which is always something important to do. 3, you could avoid trips to the store. And also, it tends to be healthier for you, especially if we're talking about food things, you know, culinary items. Item number 1 on my list is brown sugar. I never have to buy that again. I used to buy brown sugar and would have, you know, maybe 2 recipes to use it in over the next 6 months, and then all the rest of that brown sugar go to waste. It wasn't until, last year that I saw on Acre Homestead with Becky. She made her own brown sugar from regular granulated sugar and black molasses. It was a piece of cake. Just make what you need and not have it go to waste. And that was like a game changer for me. I haven't looked back since then. But yeah, brown sugar, from here on out, I'm just gonna make it as I need it. I'm not buying that stuff anymore. Item number 2 is compost tea. Yeah, so I was buying this powdered stuff that I got off of Amazon, and you had to mix it with the water and you had to measure it and all this other stuff. Well, you know, one of the channels that I frequently watch, I love watching these people, their names are Robbie and Gary, and they have a channel called Robbie and Gary Gardening Easy. Well, one of the things that she does is she has these buckets all around on her property. And I think they live on like over an acre of property. Does it look nice? No. But what she does is she makes her own compost tea. So when she has like dead leaves on her plants, you know, her broccoli, or she grows a lot of tree collards or whatever she's got growing. She takes that, she throws it in the bucket, tops it with some water, puts the lid on it, sets it off somewhere for a few days up until it gets super stinky, and then she uses that to water her plants. If you watch her channel, her garden is not suffering at all. And once I saw that, I was like, you know what, this is a piece of cake. I'm not buying that powdery stuff that I had to mix and mingle with anymore. The 3rd item on my list is seasonings. That's right, seasonings. Guys, the first one I'm thinking of off the top of my head though is paprika. Whenever I don't know, found out, and I should have known this to begin with, but I don't know why I didn't put it together. Paprika is only dehydrated peppers. Look on the back of the bottle that you get, you know, at the grocery that you went and bought for $3, $4 or whatever it is. Look at the back of the bottle. It just says dehydrated peppers. And sometimes it doesn't even say a specific kind of pepper. Now you can buy seeds for designated paprika peppers, but you can use any peppers you want to. Let them get red, or not even if you don't want to. Go ahead, bring them in the house, clean them up, dehydrate them, grind them up, and boom, you got your own paprika powder. But there's other things that you can make. Like I've been making my own ranch mix that's really good. All kinds of seasonings. You could do a Greek seasoning. You could do, I don't know, poultry seasoning. You could do, I made a kimchi seasoning. I'm calling it my Asian seasoning, but it's kimchi that I made Didn't care for it so much, but it makes an excellent spicy powder. Oh my goodness, it's so good. I throw it in my ramen all the time. It's really good. And I'm so glad that I have so much of it. You can make all kinds of seasonings with things that you grow in your home backyard garden. So item number 4 that I never have to buy again is kombucha. Now, I know a lot of you think that kombucha is overrated and blah, blah, blah. Maybe to you, maybe. Personally, I can tell the difference in my gut when I don't do my kombucha, and I don't do a lot of it. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I first started out with kombucha, I thought that I could replace it with soda. This was years ago, many, many years ago, when I used to drink a lot of soda. And I thought, oh, I'll replace my soda with this kombucha. It's healthier and it's homemade, you know? Well, learned real quickly that was a mistake. Within, I don't know, 2 months, maybe 3, I started having some really bad pains in my foot. And I thought for sure they were like gonna have to decapitate it or something, or decapitate it. I thought they were gonna have to remove my foot. It was just excruciating. Well, come to find out, I had symptoms of gout. I didn't have actual gout because I did end up going to the emergency room after the pain was just too much, and they did the x-ray, and then there wasn't any gout, but I had the symptoms of the gout. Well, I stopped drinking the kombucha and the frequency and amount that I was, and within, I don't know, a week, everything was gone. My foot was back to normal. And then I started slowly reintroducing kombucha to my diet. Well, at this point now, I'm drinking a half a cup every day. It usually is the first thing I have in the morning. But if I don't do that, then it's the first thing I have when I come home, which is why you see here, I made a cup when I got home. Well, half a cup when I got home today. And also, do you notice my cup? Isn't it cute? Grow your own pharmacy, guys. If you're interested in having this cup, you can get one yourself. It's in my merch store. This was designed by yours truly. It's super cute. It's lightweight, and it would help support me. But that aside, kombucha, I'm not buying that ever again. You know, even if you get that at Aldi, it runs about $3.50 a bottle on sale for 16 ounces. I've seen it at my local Giant Eagle for $8 for some of the brands, $8 a jar. That's crazy. If you're into kombucha, I know it's scary, and I know, whenever I saw Scoby for the first time, I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm not messing around with whatever that thing is. But then I was like, poor. And I was like, well, let's give it a try. But I'm glad I came around, and I've not looked back. If you're like me, go ahead and give it a try. It's not as hard as you think. So item number 5. I almost feel bad for bringing this up, because if you ever watched my channel for more than a month, you already know what this is going to be about. And that is vinegar. Yeah, I'm not buying any more vinegar ever again. I am a vinegar making fool. I've made vinegar out of what? You guys have watched me make vinegar out of probably 20 different things, from fresh herbs to dry herbs to fruit scraps to mushrooms, hot peppers, dried peppers. I mean, you name it, I've been trying it. And I'd have a great idea for a new one. I got it out of one of my books. But guys, I'm thinking about making a wood smoked vinegar. I'm gonna start out with a small jar, because this is super experimental. Again, this is the way that I'm gonna do it. It's not how they describe it in the book. However, I want to give that flavor a try, and I'm gonna do it in the way that I know how to make vinegars. But that's later down the road. And if it works out, I'll certainly do a video on that to show you guys that even, I'm not gonna give it away, but even the way that I'm gonna do that, if it works out, vinegar is still ridiculously easy to make, and it's inexpensive. Anyways, I don't ever have to buy vinegar again. I can make my own, and you see me do it. Alrighty, folks, we're halfway there at this point. Item number 6 is sauerkraut. I did not used to love sauerkraut. I'll be honest. Cabbage don't really love me all that much. However, for whatever reason, when I make it at home and I make it the way I like it, I don't have that intestinal issue that you can sometimes get from cabbage. I also don't sit down and eat huge amounts of it either. Puts it in the refrigerator. I have some at home, and right now I have none at home, but I have a jar at work, and especially at work is where I really go through it. Because if I'm sitting there and somebody starts popping some popcorn or something like that, and I'm like, ooh, I can smell that fake butter and I still want it. Judge me if you want to. I'll go ahead and I'll pull out my jar of sauerkraut, have a couple bites, and I'll be fine. But the other great thing about doing your own sauerkraut, well, you can grow your own cabbage. I don't have a whole lot of luck with cabbage. However, cabbage, when it's in season, is like crazy inexpensive. I think I've even gotten it as low as this past season, 39 cents at, what's it called? Acme Fresh Market. But, so I'll go and I'll just buy it and make it from there. But you could try different recipes. Isn't that fun? So like, I've always been doing just the salt and the cabbage up until this last batch that I made. I decided to deviate and I did a garlic and dill one. Ooh, let me tell you, when I tell you I went through that in twice as fast as I did all my other ones, and I love just the basic sauerkraut. But that garlic dill was to die for. I cannot wait to find some more recipes to try for sauerkraut. But that's something I'm not gonna buy anymore. I always have it in the fridge now, at work and at home. All right, guys, item number 7 is tea. Yeah, tea. It's just herbs, usually, and at least for me, I usually was buying chamomile tea, lavender tea, and green tea. Now, I bought a green tea plant, did not survive. That was at the last house, but my cat was eating it. So now I'm thinking about buying another one. Not right now. Maybe spring of next year, I'll buy another one to bring in the house. Watching other homesteaders, other backyard gardeners, a couple years ago, I don't know why I never thought of it, but like basil makes a great tea, or lemon balm, and goodness gracious, mint makes a great tea. Ginger makes a great tea. Lavender, all kinds of things that I can grow right outside or have grown. I grew ginger in the house, 2 years ago? And I even did a video of my harvest of it. I was so impressed. But yeah, I don't have to buy tea blends anymore. I can just make my own, and I have been ever since. I love doing it. I mix up all kinds of stuff. It's great. If you haven't tried it, try it. You could be a little more deliberate about it than I am. I just kind of work with what I have because I just grow whatever. But if you know that you want to grow, a chamomile and lavender tea, then make sure you grow enough chamomile and lavender. That type of thing. Me, I just use whatever I got and I mix it all together and voila. But tea blends, there's no reason for me to pay for those anymore. Absolutely not. Even if I'm not drinking green tea. We are at item number 9, and that is tinctures. So I got into tinctures, I don't know, maybe about 5 years ago. There in my old neighborhood, we used to have these kind of like farmers markets on the residential streets, and people could just buy a table, come and set up a table and whatever. And it was kind of a hippie, considered a hippie neighborhood or whatever. Well, this lady used to come there all the time, and she used to bring all these like hair things, oils and skin salves and whatever. But one of the things she used to bring fire cider too. That was the first place I heard about fire cider. But she used to bring tinctures, and I was talking to her one time, and she suggested that I buy this mullein tincture from her, and I did. It helped out what I needed it to help out. However, as the more that I talked to her, the more she kept suggesting different tinctures. Well, by the time it was all said and done, I was looking at like $50 worth of stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I'm spending $10 on 2 ounces of this, and $8 on 1 ounce of that. And then I grew a brain, as I like to say, one day and said, why am I not growing my own mullein or my own spilanthes or my own parsley or my own whatever? Why am I not growing that myself and making it myself, right? It's much cheaper. Well, now I'm pretty proficient at it, and I make the ones that I need. I believe I did a video on the ones that I did this past fall, and I will link that down below. But tinctures, they could be crazy expensive when you buy them from someone else. However, if you make them for yourself, they're super affordable. Very, very affordable. And I won't be buying any more ever again. There's no way. I appreciate that I had the resources to buy them, but I'm not doing that no more. Absolutely not. And the final thing that I never have to buy again is Crusty Bread. Hear me out. We are not big bread people. I have a feeling that bread I can't have a lot of it. It just doesn't, it sits in my stomach like a rock. But every now and again, I get a hankering for bread. And I do love sandwiches, man. I'm huge on sandwiches. Love me some sandwiches. But I'll do them open faced before I do like two slices of bread. At any rate, I'll get a hankering for some crusty bread and like make my own, what do you call it? I don't know, bread seasoning, where you add the oil like you get at Carrabba's, and then you dip, and then you, oh, it's so good and garlicky and herby. Sorry, didn't mean to break into song there. But every now and again, I get that hankering. Oh gosh, with the compound butter. Ooh. Anyways, clearly I like crusty bread from time to time. Well, I used to buy it from the grocery. I would go up to the deli. I wouldn't go and get like the ones in the aisle. No, I had to go get it from the deli. Well, I found a video from, what's that young lady's name? Becky at Acre Homestead. She had like this 5-ingredient crusty bread. Even I couldn't mess it up. And I will tell you, I am not a baker at all. At all. I think the last thing I baked other than the crusty bread was like brownies from a box. And I don't even eat brownies. I did it for somebody else. But this recipe was so simple. I already had the ingredients in the house. That was the other thing. It didn't take all this crazy stuff. There was no kneading involved and no, barely any measuring. I mean, this was foolproof. Right up my alley. I will never buy crusty bread again. I'm telling you, it was foolproof. I'm going to link that down below too. But I think I've already done a video on me doing it, so I'll link that one below too. But crusty bread, not getting my money for that no more. I can make it myself, and it tastes just as good, if not better. All right, guys. So tell me, what do you not spend any money on anymore? I know a lot of you guys, especially you gardeners, are doing canning, and you're growing your own tomatoes and making your own pasta sauce, and you grow so much you don't even have to buy it over the course of the year, things like that. Me, I don't grow enough tomatoes to do that, but it's a dream. It's a dream. Maybe one day. But what are you making that you don't need to buy ever again? Is it laundry soap? I know a lot of people make their own laundry soap. Whatever it is, put it down in the comments. give everybody some ideas because we learn when we all share. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead and share this video on your social media. I wouldn't mind. Until the next video, guys, happy growing.